door, far as I know. And I reckoned I was let off feeling sentimental about the English on that count. Still, it was going to be a solid 2 weeks R&R before the 203rd got shipped off again to take the war to the Nords. We got dumped off at the big base near Reading, leave shifts downloaded to our hub, and the first mob of us already fixing to hit London and stuff some good, solid dollars down some kinky dancers' panties. For the rest, it looked like half of England had come to us. There was a regular shantytown outside the base. They had a whole load of girls come here because it meant they could earn some cash to send home, and a bunch of older folks who had sad little stalls and carts and tents, selling everything from beer to little tin statues of Big Ben, from the wisdom of the Druids to the family silver. They looked thin and dirty and tired. That was what England looked like to me. Thin and dirty and tired, and with those bad teeth you hear about, that Sturgeon says was never a thing back then, but sure as hell is now. And smoking. Everyone smoked there, the cheapest, nastiest cigarettes you ever ended up stinking of, which they called fags, which was good for a laugh at least. Sturgeon has a bundle to say about that as well. Of course he does, the mouthy bastard. Sturgeon says that it wasn't much more than 20 years after they voted in their independence crowd and cut themselves right off from Europe before those same politicos sold the whole shebang to us. Turned out England couldn't stand on its little Union jack-gartered legs the way it once had, but that was fine. Its new leaders had already got themselves a place on the board at a dozen U.S. corporations, so they were all right. Anyway, England became a territory of the Union, and the media said everyone was happy about that. Later it became our stepping stone for taking the good fight into Europe, when it turned out that we had what Sturgeon calls irreconcilable ideological differences with some of the governments there. The base was busy. They already had the 12th Mountaineers and some armor there, and a whole load of the 170th were just being flown out. We were all getting billeted. And more than ready to get down to other things, too, the moment we had the chance. When I remember Franken punching me in the shoulder, which is how he gets your attention. "Sarge, look it," says Franken. I look at it, and I saw what he was talking about. And it's a hell of a sight. No fewer than 3 Scions striding through the press of the base like it was nothing, and everyone else getting the hell out of their way. The English call them the brass, but to us they're just Scions. This is who Sturgeon was bitching about with his dumb history lesson. I squinted at them as they strode past looking for the logos. Looked like a pair from the pharma giant Saline, and one, the biggest one, from the Agricorp Buenosol, her pushing so much of the action over in Nordland. They were 8 feet tall, give or take, and you couldn't have gotten the edge of a razor anywhere into the joints of their armored shells. One of the Saline boys was like an egg on spider legs, but the other 2 were built like men, 2 arms, 2 legs on a big armored box, where the actual lucky guy would be sitting with all home comforts. They had more guns each than a whole squad, and there was nothing the 203rd was equipped with that would have got through that plating of theirs either. It felt like a privilege to be this close to them, and everyone had gone quiet when they came through. Some, like Franken, pushed close to get a touch, a hand on that expensive metal, because if you were into that stuff the Church of Christ Libertarian went on about, these guys were the deserving. These guys were rich because it was God's plan. Just like if any of us got rich, that would be God's plan too. Just like any one of us might get rich somehow. We could be the president too. Everyone said so. We just had to work hard and wait our turn. Anyway, the 3 Scions just shoved their way through us all, not giving